Hey everyone, this is Mike, and today I'm back with some Closers Online. As for the last few days, I've just not been able to put this game down. I've been having a great time returning to this game, and I say returning, which isn't technically correct because I never really stopped playing the game, but I guess I kinda put the game on hiatus whilst still playing it a little bit here or there. It's kind of how Final Fantasy XIV is for me at the moment. Of course, tomorrow, new patch coming out, so I'll be playing it again for like maybe a week, and then put it on the slow burn again. But for the most part, I kind of have these things with games sometimes, where I'm really invested in a few games, for example Destiny 2, Closers and Final Fantasy being the big three, that I'll play a lot when new content comes out. And then eventually I just kind of get burned out of the game because I've just been playing it too much, and then other things take my interest a little bit more and I go and play those things. And with Closers I kind of had that as well. Closers is a very grindy game, it's Korean MMO, what do you expect? So whenever I was playing it, it just kind of became too much of the same. A lot of my friends also left the game, and a lot of the content that was out at that point was mainly group focused. Yes, you could still solo it, but it would take a very long time for you to do so, like 15 to 20 minutes if you weren't really geared up for the content, so to speak. So doing it with a party would take 5 minutes, doing it alone would take upwards of 15 minutes at that point, and that wasn't of course all that fun, especially not when you need to do it twice a day for like a few weeks straight. So that is why I kinda stopped playing the game as much a few months back. Now of course, over the time a lot of things have happened to the game that in the end made me want to really play it a whole lot more. And as I mentioned before, the last few days I've spent hours of my day playing this game again because I've been having so much fun. And there's a couple of reasons as to why that is. So towards the end of last year, Nadic Games, the ones that developed the game themselves, ended up taking over the publishing rights for the Western version of Closers, because Almaz Entertainment, the ones that were publishing it in the West from the start, they ended up going bankrupt or something, I don't know these specifics, but basically they had to close down, so Nadic took over the publishing rights, and since then it's been a little bit more on the updraft for me personally. But it wasn't until a few weeks ago that I really started to get invested again in the game, and that is because they added a lot of new stuff to it. So first of all, we of course had new content, Asmodeus, a new raid, which I of course wanted to keep up with the gear for my main character, so that was kind of like an incentive to play again. But as I was playing, I also noticed that there were solo versions of some of the old content again. And whenever it came down to playing this game, I'm, just like with Final Fantasy XIV, someone that enjoys my variety. I like playing different things. And over the last year or so, I've pretty much only been playing my main character, and that's probably why it kind of felt stale at some point, because it was always the same. But then on the other hand, I also didn't really feel like gearing my alts as much because a lot of the old content wasn't really being run that much anymore. I also didn't want to go and ask my crewmates, which is like the guild system or clan system, whatever you want to call it in this game. But I didn't want to ask my crewmates all the time to carry me through the old content either, because I'm someone that prefers to do things alone if it is possible, but because sometimes if you wanted to do it alone, it would just take so incredibly long to clear these bosses that I just never really bothered with it. And now having these solo versions of these bosses, of these raids, made it very enticing for me to just jump back in and do that instead. And it's a really great thing as well, because it's not just you choose between doing a solo version or a group version, you have both of them available for you. So when I started gearing up one of my other characters, I was like, okay, I'll just do the solo version, and then eventually when I acquired enough strength from doing the solo version, I would just jump in to the normal raid version as well, because now my character was strong enough to solo the normal version in a decent amount of time as well. And that kind of made me really come back into the game. Then last week, towards, I think it was Thursday or something, Mirai, another character that I really like to play, which you're also seeing some gameplay of, ended up getting her final promotion. So I was like, okay, I'll invest some more time into her, get her final promotion done, realized how much I actually really enjoyed playing her, and then I went back to some of that older content and I was like, okay, guess I'll just play these solo bosses now to start gearing her up again as well. So now I don't need to bother all of my crewmates to always carry me through this content. I don't want to just take their time. I can slowly work on the gear myself by doing these solo bosses, and I've just been having a lot of fun doing that again, because now I can play the content that gets me the new gear whilst still playing solo, whilst playing all of these other characters that are technically under-geared if I want to do the group version of said bosses or said raids, but then I can just slowly gear them up doing the solo stuff. Once they have enough gear, I can just move over to the group stuff instead, and I can just kind of keep it going like that. So at the moment, I'm just taking my time. I'll just log in every day, do my dailies on my main character, and then once I'm done with my dailies, I'll just be like, oh, do I want to play some more? Maybe I'll jump onto my alt, do some of the stuff over there that I can do. Maybe if I really want to spend some extra time, I'll prepare some stuff for the new character that's coming out hopefully sometime soon, because Yunha made a video on her like half a year ago. She is a character that I really enjoyed playing on the Korean servers, so hopefully when she comes out in, I'm hoping about a month from now, I can like already prepare some materials so that I can gear her up a little bit quicker as well, make the process go a little bit smoother. So it really went from me just logging in every day for the sake of I want to keep up with the gear on my main, to now logging in every day and just kind of want to speed through the gearing process of my main so that I can go and play my alts again as well, because I've just been having fun playing through the old content again, kind of like nostalgia's sake as well from the old bosses I was doing. But they're also fun now because they don't just take 20 minutes for me to clear because I'm undergeared, because we now have those solo versions available. So I've been having a lot of fun. Tomorrow, of course, is gonna be a Final Fantasy day, but after that, definitely gonna be enjoying my time in Closers a little bit more as well. Very much so looking forward to when Yunha comes out as well, because I really enjoyed her on the Korean server. I even downloaded the Korean client again earlier today to just play around with her a little bit more again as well. So really looking forward to when she comes out. Which again hopefully is in a month, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Anyways, that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. Just wanted to talk about this game again because I've just been having a blast. Maybe I can get you interested in the game itself as well, because it is really fun. It is definitely solo friendly now again as well, because a lot of stuff you can now solo with these solo versions of the bosses. Yes, it will take you a little bit longer to gear up than if you were doing the normal stuff, because usually the normal stuff will give you a little bit more resources, but still, it is a way for you to gear up. It is a lot of fun to do, and I can definitely recommend this game for anyone to try out that is interested in it. Anyways, that's gonna do it for me. I wanna thank you for watching. I wanna thank my Patreons for their support, and I'll see you in the next one.